there, fantasy owners. Welcome to LTC Fantasy here. Not sure if you're chiming in watching via YouTube or listening via podcast, but really do appreciate the stream no matter how you're streaming the episode here. So it's finally the start of the regular season. It's coming right up. Probably a few drafts left for you, depending if you've already drafted or not. But we're going to start our strategy episode here. First off, I want to thank all the new and current subscribers to the YouTube channel and the recent downloads on the podcast. It's really starting to gain some traction here. Our strategy episode for week one, since it's split over more than a week here, we're going to split it into two parts. So the first part here, we're going to cover San Jose and Nashville because they play two days, afternoons, depending what time zone you're in. To start the week, exhibition will still be going on for some other teams. So we'll have part two after the two European games are done. That way it should be closer to rosters being finalized and have a better grip on who made the roster, who got sent down, maybe an injury or two in there. That way we're a little more accurate when we're suggesting some players there. Things to note is when you're deciding who to keep or drop this week as you're making your different waiver claims, is that San Jose and Nashville, with the two games over in Europe, they actually get 4 games in total for week one. 3-game weeks for Chicago, Columbus, LA, Montreal, and the Rangers. A slew of teams have 2 games this week, and Winnipeg has 1. So I'll repeat again, Nashville and San Jose have 4, Chicago, Columbus, LA, Montreal, and the Rangers have 3, and Winnipeg only has 1. Later in the week after we finish part 2, it'll come out on Sunday there for you for the strategy episode. Wednesday will be our normal waiver wire episode, and Thursday will be our weekend ads episode to find them players to hopefully give you the final push for the win in week one and get you out to that early start there. So don't forget to subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of the future episodes on different player suggestions to hopefully help strengthen your roster. So we'll get right into it now. Some goalies to pick up. Normally I don't suggest goalies on strategy episode because you don't know who's going to start. But San Jose and Nashville are playing back-to-back. So more than likely you're going to get 1 game from your starter and 1 game from your backup goalie. And 3 of the 4 goalies are under 65% owned there. So we'll go through them. First one's Kaapo Kähkönen from San Jose. Only owned in 12% of Yahoo leagues. He is, for your dynasty owners, he's only 26 years old. So pretty young regarding goaltending age anyways. Last year he was 14-14-4 with a 2.96 goals against average and 912 save percentage. Pretty nice save percentage. It actually went up when he came over in San Jose. Obviously the wins went down because it is going to be a rough season. But even if he's going to see a lot of rubber, should be able to stop the puck there. The other goaltender from San Jose, make sure you get a confirmed starter before you pick one of these guys up. But the other one's James Reimer. He's 23% owned in Yahoo leagues. He's 34 years old. Last year he was 19, 17, and 10. 2.9 goals against average and a 911 save percentage. Really close numbers to Kähkönen from last year. Kähkönen is supposed to kind of get the reins because he is a younger goalie. Reimer's on an expiring contract. So do watch. If it's a short-term thing, yeah, pick him up. If you're thinking more long-term, wait to see who gets the reins with it, because last year we thought Peterson would be taking the majority of the starts, but Quick outplayed him and got the majority of the starts down the stretch. Not saying it's going to be the same thing in San Jose, because they really don't think they're going to be anywhere near playoff contention like LA was last year, but something to be mindful of when you're thinking about picking up either of the players. And then the last one's a backup in Nashville. It's Kevin Lankinen. He's only owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, and he's 27 years old. Last year he was 8, 15, and 6 with a 3.5 goals against average and an 891 save percentage. That was playing in front of a brutal Blackhawks team last year. Everything fell apart. Now Lankinen's definitely just a stream play. You don't want to keep him long term because Saros is the guy there. He plays a ton, so Lankinen's going to be a very spot start at best. But his numbers should be a little bit better as he will be playing in behind a lot better team than he did last year in Chicago there. So he should have a little bit better fantasy value than last year. But realistically, it's just a streaming option at this point for you. So we'll get into some defensemen. From Nashville, look at Mattias Ekholm. He's only owned in 14% of Yahoo leagues. He's 32 years old. He's going to be on the second pairing, second power play unit, and the top PK unit. So with all that, you know he's going to log a lot of minutes there. Last year, he had 31 points in 76 games, 96 blocks, and 79 hits. So he's definitely a really good streaming option for you as he's well-rounded in a lot of categories if your league does cover a broad base of categories. Shots on goal are a little bit light, but for a streaming option, he's definitely well worth the risk, especially on light nights. Next one's Ryan McDonough. He's only owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues. He's 33 years old. Should be on that second pairing and top penalty kill unit. Not slated to be on the power play at this point. Last year, 26 points in 71 games played. He had 137 blocks and 96 hits. So his offense isn't quite as high as Ekholm, but his blocks and hits are a little bit higher. So depending how things are weighted, and if Ekholm's already owned in your league, McDonough might not be too bad of a backup option as a streaming option for you. Last one from Nashville is Alexander Carrier. He's owned in 5% of Yahoo leagues. He's only 25 years old. Is slated to be on that top pairing with Yossi, the second penalty kill unit. Last year, he put up 30 points in 77 games. He had 124 blocks and 95 hits. Last year, when he was paired with Yossi, his offense did obviously jump up. He got some nice secondary assist value there. So if he does stay up there, it might be a nice fantasy option for you there. San Jose D-men, really there's only one that I'd really suggest, and that's Mario Ferraro as a streaming option. He's only owned in 6% of Yahoo leagues. He's 24 years old, should be on the second pairing and second power play unit. Last year he only put up 14 points in 63 games played. He had 151 blocks and 140 hits. His secondary cats are where he's really going to provide value for you. And with Burns gone, he's going to get even more of the extra ice time on specialty team units. So I could see his offensive stats improving, and you know he's definitely going to block and hit for you. So that's a decent option. If you are desperate to pick up a D-man because you really go with that games played strategy and you got room on your roster maybe due to an injury, etc., Vlasic and Benning are some other options for you from San Jose, but I'd really try to avoid them if you can. Going on to forwards, some forwards from Nashville. Look at Mikael Granlund. He's owned in 25% of the Yahoo leagues, listed as a center, 30 years old. He should be on the top line, top power play unit, and second PK unit, so going to get a lot of ice time there. Last year he had 64 points in 80 games. He wasn't too bad in hits. He had a good amount of blocks. He was a little light on shots on goal, though. Another one from Nashville is Ryan Johansson. He's owned in 32% of Yahoo leagues, listed as a center, 30 years old also. He should be on that second unit, but top power play unit. Last year he had 63 points in 79 games played. Really, he's very similar to Granlund overall in point structure. He does get you a few more goals, and he's a little lighter on the hits and blocks. So if goals are weighted heavier, Johansson might be a better choice for you. If it's a even kind of keel league, Granlund might be a better choice for you, but a couple of options there for you. Another one from Nashville is the newcomer Nino Niederreiter. He's owned in 15% of Yahoo leagues, listed as a left winger. He too is 30 years old. 30 seems to be the age in Nashville for a streaming option for forwards anyways. He should be on the second line and second power play unit. Last year he put up 44 points in 75 games played. He really had nice hit and shot on goal total too. seems to be fitting in well in Nashville, should stay in that top 6 where he didn't always get that opportunity in Carolina, being on a much deeper forward group in Carolina. So with more opportunity, could see those offensive stats improving for you. Another one from Nashville's Philip Tomasino. He's only owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, listed as a right winger, and he's only 21 years old. So that comes into play for you dynasty owners. Being a really young guy might be somebody to pick up for you and kind of stash away. He should be on that second line and second power play unit. Last year, in 76 games played, he put up 32 points. So he's almost a half a point per game player, and he only averaged an 11.5 minutes of ice time a game. Obviously, if he stays up on that second line and gets that power play time, the ice time should be more in that 14 plus, probably 15 minutes a game, and there you could really see some nice increase in offensive production there. So he might be more of a dynasty pickup for you, maybe a streaming option if you got room on your roster. A couple others, if you are desperate to pick up somebody, is Eli Tolvanen and Cody Glass. They're both playing fourth line right now according to Daily Faceoff, but they will be getting some power play time, and they got some offensive upside there, but obviously their minutes will be limited, so it's more of a desperate player. If you got multiple injuries, they might be worth picking up early on. Some forwards from San Jose now. First one's Luke Kunin. He's owned in 5% of Yahoo leagues. He's listed as left wing, right wing, so you get a little bit of versatility there, which is nice. He's only 24 years old. He should be on that top line in San Jose right now and second power play unit. Last year, he put up only 22 points in 82 games played, but he had 223 hits, which is a ton of hits, and 51 blocks, which is a really nice block total for a forward. He did average under 14 minutes of ice time per game, but he will obviously see an increase in that if he does stay up on the top line. And to start out the season anyways, looks like he's going to be with Meyer and Hurdle, so there could be a chance for some piggyback points there if they can get a couple of pucks past Saros there anyways. Next one is Logan Couture. He's listed as a center, owned in 34% of Yahoo leagues, and he's 33 years old now. He is on that second line, top power play unit, and top PK unit. Last year put up 56 points in 77 games played, and he had 58 blocks. It's a really high block total for a forward there. Yes, he is aging, but he still is productive, especially in a secondary role on your fantasy roster or streaming option there, depending how deep your league is. But he did put up 56 points last year in 77 games, so definitely still has some fantasy value there for you. Next one is Oscar Lindblom. He's listed as a left winger, available everywhere, 0% owned, but he is slated to be on that second line with Couture and be on the first penalty kill unit, and second power play unit. Last year he put up 26 points in 79 games played, really low on the production side of things, but he did average under 14 minutes per game like Kunin. He's going to get more opportunity in San Jose playing in that top 6, and with that he should be an okay streaming option, especially on light nights. A last-minute kind of desperation option for you is Nick Bonino. He does go in spurts, does get a little bit of power play and penalty kill time. Might be if you're desperation kind of move there, but that's another name for you. As I mentioned earlier, we will be out on Sunday with our part 2 of Week 1 strategy. Wednesday will be our waiver wire episode, and Thursday will be our weekend ads episode. So if you are watching via YouTube, remember to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit like so you don't miss out on future episodes. If you're listening via podcast, remember to hit follow, hit that star, etc. so you don't miss out on future episodes. And good luck. Hopefully you get out to a hot start here, and we'll be out in a few days with another episode to hopefully help you strengthen that roster there, fantasy owners.